Hello everyone, welcome to Puddingwood Avenue. My name is Bindi. So today I'm going to show you how to make this scrubby for the kitchen that matches with our hand towel and our dishcloth that we made in previous tutorials. Now, I have to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I like this yet or not. I haven't used it, I have washed it and it's washed up lovely. It's the first time I've ever used the Red Heart scrubby cotton, or any scrubby cotton for that matter. And I have heard a few things from different people about using this scrubby yarn with good hooks. So definitely don't use it with your furls hooks, because apparently it scratches off the really nice coating that makes it slide through. So I am going to do this, our tutorial today. It's going to be the same as this one. This matches the other samples that I did for the other tutorials for our home theme for the month. And of course this time we are going to make it in the purple so it matches with our dishcloth and our hand towel. So let's begin. We're going to use our Lion Brand yarn Comfy Cotton Blend. This is a lovely yarn to use. It works really well. It does split a little, so you have to be careful with your stitches. This particular one is called Blueberry Muffin. It is a lightweight number 3, however it's probably a 4 weight rather than a number 3. It recommends a 6mm hook, but we're going to start off today using different sized hooks. We're going to start off with a 4.5. This is my Bella Coco crochet hook that I got in the latest Crochet Now magazine. So this is a 4.5, and then I'm going to move to my 7mm. There we go. Prim hook. Again, I don't particularly like these hooks. The shaft is too long for me, I think. It could be the project that I was using it on as well. But I use this for this one, and there hasn't been any damage to either one of these hooks. So that's what we're going to use today. You'll also don't need that. Also going to need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. But let's jump into it, shall we? If you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I hope you like what you see today. I hope that I encourage you to have a go at making these. I'm going to make a few of these for probably without the scrubby yarn, probably for the bathroom. Not sure what I'm going to do with the scrubby yarn. Apparently this is really good to use for face cloths, so maybe a few rounds of these for a face cloth might be an idea. So we talked about the Lion Brand yarn's Comfy Cotton Blend. The other yarn we're using is the Red Heart Scrubby Cotton. There's 133 meters in this skein. It recommends a 5.5mm size hook. And this one is called, the color is called Loofah. This is classed as a medium weight number 4. And of course machine washable and tumble dryable, which is what we want. Okay, so I don't even have any sort of pattern here. I love making things in the round. I love making beanies, so to me this is really simple to start with. We're not going to use the scrubby yarn for our first round. In the middle, I just want to get that color out, and then we're going to add in our yellow yarn, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, so we're going to start with a magic circle. So we're just going to start off just like we would with a slip stitch, a slip knot, except we're not going to tighten it. We're just going to leave our circle open like this. Might zoom in a little bit if I can. In would be good. Okay, and we're just going to hold it, and we're going to do one chain. Now that chain doesn't count as anything. We're going to work into the big circle here. There is going to be another loop here, which we're not going to work into. We want that to be twisted over here, and that's going to be our tail that we pull to close up our circle. So in here we're going to do 12 double crochets. Now I'm sure every time I set this up, do my setup, I set it up differently, and I've got the light right level beside my eye. I might have to stop and change it because it's kind of blinding me. Hang on, hold that thought. Okay, and I've also got a big dog on my foot down here. I thought I was ready. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need a bit more yarn, thank you. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go close that up a little bit. 11 and 12. Okay, so we're going to close up our circle, not too tight. I don't like to close it too tight until I've closed up over here. Just gives you more room to work and see what you're doing. So I'm going to count back from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and here. And it tends to sit at the front too, this first part of the V, and that is 12. That's my 12th stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch. So slip stitch into that. Okay, so now I'm going to put my work between my 2 fingers like that, and I'm going to pull really hard on the tail, and that's going to close up my circle really nice and tight. Now you can see that I have caught this yarn here and it's sticking out, so I'm just going to redo my slip stitch, and that's a really good thing about crochet. If the stitch isn't right, if you've made a mistake and you need to go back and fix it, you can absolutely do that. So that's a bonus point for crochet. Okay, that's much better. It's all there together. Okay, now I'm a bit scared about pulling this from the center in case I get yarn buff, so I'm going to work my skein from the outside. So I'm going to take a little bit of yarn off the outside of my scrubby yarn, and we're going to do a row. Now it's a bit hard because we're jumping from a 4.5 to a 7. I'm going to do a row of just scrubby yarn, and you can see that I've done that in here. So we have our original yarn to match with our, let's see what I've got here. So here is our dishcloth that we made in the purple, and our hand towel that we made in the blue. Okay, so you can see, sorry about that. So you can see that our dishcloth, our scrubby, is going to match. So I want to be able to see what my lovely yarn looks like before I jump in and put this scrubby yarn in. So I'm going to actually change my hook over to this 7mm prim. Now it's going to be a bit tough going through all of these stitches, but if you're slow and steady, you'll be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to work over the top of my comfy cotton. So I'm going to just join my yarn like that, and into that same stitch we've just worked into, I'm going to do a double crochet. So again, it's a little tight, but it does work, and it keeps it nice and together. Just got to find that. Here it is here. I'm going to work into there. I'm going to pull my tail with me, and I'm also going to work over my purple yarn. So I'm going to do a double crochet, 1, and I'm going to do another one in that same stitch, working over the top of that yarn and also the tail, so that I don't have to worry too much about trying to weave it in later. And then we're going to do 2 into every stitch, 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 2 into the next stitch. Again, it's tight and the scrubby yarn wants to stick together. And go back into the same stitch and do another double crochet. Ooh, there's thunder out there today. and working over our tail and our working purple yarn. We're going to do double crochet. So I've done 2 into that one, 2 into the next one. So it's just literally a decrease, the same as you would do for any circle, any beanie, any scrubby, any doily that you want to sit flat. You do 2 in round 2, you do 2 stitches in every stitch. So we're just going to keep working around, making sure I've got this tail here. So we're going to go into this one. And we should end up with 24 stitches at the end. Already, I'm thinking I'm liking the look of this. You'll also notice too that our center for our magic circle is opening a little bit. That's absolutely fine because I want to weave that end in properly at the end, because you'd want to make sure it's not going to unravel, and I would rather sew it in than just work my way around it, because it is going to be used and washed and used and washed and used and washed so many times. So you just want to make sure that that end is not going to come out. So I've got 1, 2 into here, and 2 into the next one. You can see I've finished working over my tail for my scrubby, and that's because it won't pull out because of the texture of the yarn. But I am still working over the top of my working yarn for the purple because we want to use that purple in the next round, and saves us cutting and joining things. So 2 into this one, get some more scrubby yarn, just pulling it off from the outside, which is a little interesting. I don't usually do it like that. I'm normally a center pull type person. Excuse me. So which do you prefer, center pull or working from the outside of your yarn? Leave me, tell me in the comments below. I haven't got my yarn over the top, there we go. Tell me in the comments below, because I struggle when I work from the outside, because it moves, I find it tangles, unless I put it on my yarn genie, which I've shown in a previous video, and I don't mind it then, that's fine, because it will help it just wind around. 1 and 2, and yeah, I'm a center pull girl. It's my favorite way to do it. So I'm just going to pull that, not too tight because I don't want to distort it. I'm just going to pull this to make sure that I've got it looking okay. Yep. I really love the color of this purple. There's a blueberry muffin from Lion Brand. I'm really enjoying it. The color, it looks very opalescent, and especially then when you mix it with the blue, that opalescence kind of comes through. Okay, and another one. We're almost there, and then we can join our purple back up. And this one. So 2 in this one, 2 in the next one. We're going to slip stitch to join. Again, because it looks I think I don't like it so much because it looks messy. But if you make a boo-boo, if your slip stitch is not quite right, if you know, it's gonna be okay. It really is, because the look of the yarn is just going to absolutely hide any mistakes. And it's for scrubbing the dishes. No one's going to be picking it apart. Okay, so I've worked our way. We should have 24 stitches all the way around. And what we're going to do is we're going to carry our Comfy Cotton Blend. We're going to carry that up, and we're going to now add it to our scrubby, and we're going to find a stitch, any stitch, and we're going to slip stitch into it. I'm going to say that's only one part of the V, and I don't want that. I want a sturdier. There we go. And I'm going to now wrap both pieces of yarn, and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to slip stitch. And we've joined. I think I like the loofah better than I like the yellow. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, which does not count. And we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 into the next stitch. Now don't be afraid, pull it apart. You can see where the posts are, so find the post, go into the top of that post, find the 2 parts of the V. That's 1, the other one's just here somewhere, and it might need a bit of a wriggle, but you'll find it, it'll be okay. So we've done 1 in the first one, and we're going to do 2 into the second stitch. So row 3, you're going to be working in repeats of 3, and that's the way I like to remember what row I'm up to and what I'm doing. So 1, 2, and into the same stitch we're going to do our third. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, in the next stitch, here it is here, we're going to do 1 double crochet into this stitch. If you can find it, wriggle around, find it for you. Oh, I can see that I've missed that part of the V. There it is there. So 1 into this stitch. See, if I was working from the center, it'd just be rolling, coming straight out. And we're going to do 2 into the next stitch. So 1, 2, and next one is 3. 1 into the next stitch. And 2 into the next stitch. Now my when I am pulling from the center is not cooperating. Okay. Wow, it's gotten really dark here all of a sudden. So what do we got? We got 2 into that one, 1 into that one, 2 into this one. Oh, that temperature's just dropped heat too, so that's good. I'm sorry if you can hear my water pump going. Not much I can do about it. I've got some washing happening. And I do live in a shed that's not connected to town water. So I have a pump pumping up from the bore. So we've got 2 in this one, 1 in that one, 2 in the next one. And I think there's an air blockage. And so it's going on and then turning off, and then turning on and then turning off. And it's a bit annoying when you're sitting here trying to do stuff. But if I want water, that's what we've got to do. Okay. So 2 into that one. No, 1 into that one. We got 2. Got 1. We got 2 into this one. And we're just going to work our way around. 1 and 2. 1 into this one here. 2 into the next. And Scrubby wants to get caught up on everything, but that's okay, we'll sort it out. And a bit more yarn. So we've got 2 in this one, 1, and we need another one in this one here. I think I do like it better than the blue and the yellow. For some reason just doesn't float my boat. So 1 into that one, 2 into the next. And 1 into the next one. So what do you think I should do with the rest of the scrubby yarn? Should I make just some plain scrubbies? Should I do face scrubbies? Again, it's apparently supposed to be not very harsh for your skin, because of course you need to be careful about what you're doing. It's cotton, so it will absorb moisture, but it will also dry really quickly, which is great, which is what you want for anything to do with water. 1 into this one. For some reason, not sure why, this one feels a lot looser than the other one. Maybe I was scared and I was hanging on to my yarn too tight. The tension is different. Because it definitely feels more floppier. Or just floppier. More floppier is not grammatically correct. If you didn't know, I'm not the grammar queen, I'm the grammar princess. I have a friend who is the grammar queen, all bow down to her. And that is not being sarcastic in any way, shape or form, because even if I have something, can you just double check, what's the rule? She's a retired deputy principal from one of my old schools, and yeah, she's a lovely lady. Very, very, very smart. Okay. I'm going to pop into here. We're almost all the way around. Now, I haven't really been counting. If I don't have the right number at the end, am I going to stress about it? No, I am not. Again, can you really tell? I can't believe the difference in the feel between the two. I don't understand what is different. Oh look, I've got the right number of stitches. Ta-da! 1, 2 in the next stitch. And 2. And that's not a stitch, that is where we've joined up in our chain 1. I'm going to find the top of a stitch over here somewhere, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that one. And I'm going to separate my yarn. I'm actually going to stop the scrubby yarn here. So I'm going to, let's pull that out so I don't lose it. I'm going to tie off my scrubby yarn here, which is kind of difficult to do because again it wants to catch on itself. Pull that through as best as I can, but again I'm going to weave that in and just do a comparison. Yep, look at that, wow. I seriously don't know what the difference is, but that's okay. We are now going to swap back to our 4.5mm hook, my Bella Coco 4.5. And we're going to do a single crochet into the top all the way around, but we're also going to put in our little hanging piece here. Now you don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I am going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to chain up 1 and I'm going to go back into that stitch and I'm going to just do a single crochet. Now this is going to pull it around a little bit, which is going to be fine. And I'm only going to be looking for the top of the purple yarn and not the top of both the Lion Brand and the Red Heart. So I'm just going to, and this is very loosely, I'm just going to, look, if I need to I can, I suppose, but there it is. Just a very loose single crochet. So there's 1 and there's 1. Again, if you get the scrubby yarn caught in amongst it, that's going to be fine. No one's going to know. And again, if they're scrutinizing your what you're scrubbing your dishes with, we're just gonna fudge our way around it. So you see I couldn't find the stitch there, but I can here. Keep it nice and loose because we don't want to pucker it too much. And why I've gone back to the 4.5mm is once you wash the scrubby yarn, it does apparently shrink a little bit, which is probably why my, that's a lot though. That's a lot to shrink, isn't it? That's okay. But we're going to do a nice just clean edge all the way around. I like to finish pretty much every project with a single crochet border of some description, unless of course you know you're doing your shells border or whatever. Excuse me. And just work your way around. I'm going to go this one, and there's another one over here somewhere. This one, So for those of you who are either teachers or parents with school-aged children, it is almost time to go back to school. Are you ready? Teachers go back on the 17th. We have a few PD days, professional development days, where we brush up on our teaching skills, curriculum, pedagogy, all that sort of stuff. Look at the school policies and make sure that we're all on the same page. Days to work, couple of days to work with our cohort colleagues and set up our classrooms and things. So that's what my next project ahead is going to be. As I've got a new classroom. I've got grade 2s this year. I'm really excited. They're a lovely little bunch of kiddies. And yeah, I'm really excited to go in there and get that set up. I've got quite a large classroom. I got that classroom because one of my little guys has some medical issues and can't do stairs. So I snaggled a bigger classroom, which is great. Hope I get to stay in there for a little bit, like a couple of years. But yes, I'm just going to go through that one because I can't find it. Again, don't get too stressed over it. No more thunder out there. I'm surprised I haven't got, yep, here she comes. I'm surprised I haven't got my big girl under the table. Here she comes. Is there lightning out? Is there thunder out there, Lula? Maynard, the younger dog, doesn't particularly care about thunder, but Lola, who is a rescue pup, she doesn't like thunder at all, especially when it's really, really loud. I try not to pander to her anxieties, but she just likes to hang around Mum. Make sure she's safe, which is fine. It's good to know that you're needed. Okay, I'm just going to go into this one because I can't find it. So this one and this one. Yeah, I am kind of looking forward to going back to school. I'm at a great school. I've got great people that I work with, great friends. The kids are lovely, wonderful community here, and everyone helps each other. And yeah, it's just a really, really nice place to live. Really good primary school. The high school's really good too. I worked there for 5 years, and yeah, it's really nice to see where my high school kiddies came from the primary school. And I don't really have a preference. I enjoyed working at the high school. I love the high school kids. Yes, they have attitude. Yes, they get up to mischief. But you know, you got to treat them like they're young adults, and they've got to learn from their mistakes, and you treat them with respect. Show them a little bit of humility, and a little bit of humour goes a long way, especially with the boys who think they're super damn cool. Yeah, I have a bit of a reputation. I like working with the naughties. The naughties are fine. Some of them just need a little bit of love, and they'll do anything for you. All right, so before we get back around here to the beginning, I'm going to do, and it doesn't really matter, you could do it here at the beginning. I normally do it over here, but got carried away. I'm going to do a chain of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to go slip stitch into that exact same space that we just come out of. Slip stitch into that. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to slip stitch into the circle. And I know we've done 10, but I'm actually going to do 20 single crochets around that circle. Man, it's getting dark out there. All right, so I'm going to do 20 single crochets, and it's going to be a bit tight, but that's okay. again, it'll be nice and tight around the ring, and then when you wash it, it will shrink up a little bit, and it'll make that ring really sturdy. So I'm not counting, I'm talking, but we want 20, so 2 per stitch. So I'll show you on the other one in just a second. We'll do a few of these and then we'll go back and count. Alright, so I'm going to push these down here, push them down to the end. I don't want gaps. Okay, so if you have a look on the one that I already made, you can see how nice and closed that is. You can't see any of the chains underneath. If we had done 10, it would have been quite loose, and I don't want that. I want this to be nice and tight. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now if you think that you could fit a few more in there, 15, 16, go ahead, because you want it nice and tight. What did I say? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, and this is exactly what I mean. I've got enough space there. I could probably do another, I don't know, 5 maybe. So whatever suits what your tension is. Like I said, for some reason this is much bigger than the original one I did, and I really don't know why, but I am just going to absolutely fill that stitch, that circle, with single crochets. I've lost count now, I don't even know, and that's okay. Now we're going to go back down into that where we came out of, and we're going to single crochet, slip stitch into that again. We really want that to be nice and secure. Okay, and we're going to slip stitch across. So get my circle happening, and I'm going to go back into that space, capture my yarn and pull it through, and slip stitch. We're going to go to the next stitch, and we're going to single crochet. So that is our, oh look, I've got a lumpy bit up there. That is our circle, and we're just going to keep going around, finishing this off. And remember, I normally go to the middle, but I was too busy talking and I missed the middle, so we're almost at the end, which is fine. Doesn't really matter where you put the loop, or even if you put the loop. So that's the front V, get all the ply, and the back V is over this side. And single crochet. You can see there's it's twisting in a little bit, but that's okay. That's totally okay. Again, once you wash it for the first time, it's all just going to shrink just a little bit. What are you doing? Come back to here, please. Yeah, it's just all going to tighten up that little bit, as well as the inside as well as the outside, and it will be fine. And here it is. Here is alright. Again, if you go if you go under both the comfy cotton, excuse me, the comfy cotton and the scrubby yarn, that's absolutely fine, not a problem. I'm just trying to get the purple to stand out a little bit more than it would, and also giving that scrubby yarn a little bit of give for when we are scrubbing dishes. Okay, we are almost there. So here's this one. No, can't find it. Right, so we're just going to go through that one. And we're going to go into this stitch and slip stitch. I might actually go under all of them. Like I said, I actually don't have a pattern. I'm just truly, and you can probably tell, just going straight off my own head here. That's my tail. Pull that as tight as I can. And I'm going to tie this off. Oh. Snip. Pull it nice and tight. And that, my lovelies, is your finished scrubby. I absolutely do like it better than I'd like the blue one. Whether it's the colouring that I don't like, because you know, the purple's my favourite colour. I like this way more than I like this one. And again, why is it? It's bigger. I don't understand. I don't understand. I use the same hooks. They're right here. But that's what you get. We've got a nice little hook here, a nice little hanging circle. And all I'm going to do now is weave in my ends, especially the one in the middle. So I'm going to pull that really tight. And thread my yarn through my hook. And we can see that we're coming out this way. I'm actually going to skip one of the stitches and I'm going to go back the other way, around as much as I possibly can, just to help it stay in there. Pull that really tight and just keep going around until you can't go anymore. Now I can smell, now we don't have lantana on our property or anywhere close to us, but that storm breeze, I can smell lantana. I wonder where that's coming from. It's cooled down quite a bit. I think I'm going to have to put the heat lamp back on for the little ducklings. They're in the corner just here. Okay, pull that as tight as you can, give that a snip. And let's do these. I'm going to do these separately, but what I am going to do is I'm actually going to tie a knot in them first. And then I'm just going to weave it in and out to make sure that they don't come undone. Now, I really wasn't sure whether I was going to do this tutorial, which is part of the reason why I haven't written down the any instructions. And that's because I disliked it so much from the blue and yellow. I really wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not. But I did promise, I did say I was going to do it, so I am a person of my word. If I say something, I do it. So don't pull too tight like I just did. And I'm just going to go around and under a few of these stitches. I've brought the scrubby yarn down into the scrubby yarn row so that you're not going to see it. And separate that out a bit. And I'm fairly confident that that's not going to go anywhere because we've tied it in a knot up there, so I'm just going to give that a snip. And then we're going to do our comfy cotton yarn. Yeah, see, this stuff pulls so bad, but that's okay. Again, it's a scrubby for your dishes. No one should be looking and saying, oh my goodness. Alright, so we're just going to go a few times. And because this doesn't get caught on itself as much as the scrubby yarn, I'm just going to go back the other way. Go through some of that yarn if you can. Actually split it on purpose. Noise is going everywhere. First the pump, now the washing machine's finished, so it's going to be beeping. I've caught that piece of yarn, so let's see if I can work that back in through. Yep, Alright, and just see if I can go back one more time. And just to finish off securing again, split that yarn if you can. It's just going to help you not, it's just going to help it not come undone, not pull apart. Okie dokie. Snip that off. And that is our scrubby done. That matches our dishcloth and also our lovely hand towel that we made. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you'll have a go. Work with that scrubby yarn. Maybe you'll have more success with it. I'm not particularly a big fan of it, but I have 2 skeins of it now, so I'm going to have to do something with it. And like I said, I do actually like this one better than I like this one. Maybe it's the colouring. Not really sure. Have a go. If you've worked with the scrubby yarn before, do you have any hints and tips for using the scrubby yarn? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.